Hey guys, I just want to give a little demonstration of how I optimize levels because I've considered doing that for a while. I wanted to break down CCLP1 routes. I want to go through a custom set that won't have a lot of CCLP4 candidates to avoid giving away routes that otherwise wouldn't be public. For future episodes of this, if you can call them that, there will probably be some editing, but for now I'm just going to show you my process for one of Josh's levels. First level of Josh L6 Extended, Brief Construction Montage. This uses the walls of Present Company from CCLP1, and you can see pretty clearly here that there's three distinct sections. There's this blue wall teleport section, there's this block cloning section with bombs, and there's this block pushing section with water. I have already gone through this level and found 219, just so you know. If I was going to be super serious about this, and this was in a CCLP, what I would do would be go through, replace all of the actual blue walls down here with walls, but you don't need to do that. Instead, what I did this time was, why is this the wrong window capture? This should be tile world. There we go. That was weird. So basically what I did was I actually went into the level and tried to get a sort of baseline state for what this actually looks like. Are there more efficient ways to do this? Yes, there are. However, this was something I figured was good enough for my purposes. And this also gives a feel for how the teleport section flows. So once I did that, I looked at the level, saw that this teleport, I have to walk right by it. It'll bring me down here. This isn't useful. If I go up, then I'm over here and this doesn't lead anywhere new. If I go down again, so let's actually do that, we are now in this room, which means I can get this chip. So from this chip, if I go down, I can get this one, and then I have a choice. I can either go up and end up here, or left and end up over here. So obviously left for the blue key, teleport. If I teleport again, I get the last one. So this is where things get interesting. So we're going to cut back to the editor here. We are now standing on this tile. The next destination is either going to be up here or over here. So the way I saw it, this room leads closer to the button, but we can pass through the button on the way to over here, and that brings us closer to the final destination. So essentially, what you could do is you can either go up to here, up, right, over, down, and then across, or you can go this bigger cross. So seeing as this path is longer than this path, I elected to focus on bomb room first. If this didn't turn out to get to bold or was very short, or I needed, or I was getting desperate, I would try the other path. But this seemed like it was going to be ideal, just cutting down on travel between sections and each section in itself. So going back over here in level, I'm going to restart. So this is it all played out. So the two destination points are either going to be right here or right here. So let's count the moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we can get to here in less than one additional move, then it saves time. So can we do that from right here? Well, maybe. How fast is that? So what I'm going to do, and this is what I originally did, I don't know if it's actually faster, I didn't check, is it's hard to count moves with boosting. So there's that, or there's the other method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to control R. We're going to go over here to our test level, which unfortunately I was an idiot and didn't actually make this a test level, so let me do that. Yes, I was editing the actual file. Sue me. So we've got our level over here. So we can finish the editing process. I've got a little practice doing that. It doesn't take too long. So what we want to do is we want to test from this point. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to do something smart. I'm going to copy the entire level, go over to Level Manager, make a new level, and paste it. So now we have the original level state, and then a level to edit for testing things. So we're going to put chip there. We're going to put our point there, so it's the only things that matter. Time equals 100. So, it occurs to me I don't... Oh, whoa, whoa, what the... That's weird. Alright, so again, this is very unpolished. I'd polish this. So we have Tile World. This is our test level. So we're going to test the easy method first. And 98.8. Nice and easy. So now we're going to go with the boosting method. And that comes up one move slower. So fortunately for us, we get to do nice and easy stuff and cut through here. And this goes back to the editor for someone. And there we go, back in the editor. Back over to the game. So now we know how to get to the red button as quickly as possible. It's this. Nice, that gets us there at 245.8. That's pretty nice. So from here, we have to figure out the best way of doing the block pushing. So let's analyze the room, because we can see everything relevant from right here. So, this chip's guarded by bombs, this chip's guarded by bombs. Something has to blow them up, it has to be a block. In other levels, you might be able to take something from another section, and you always have to take that into account. Always. Because weird things can turn up faster sometimes. So the first thing that comes to mind is how do we minimize the number of bombs that need exploding? Well, that's a little tricky and not always necessarily the right metric to use. Now, this bomb to our left is easier to get rid of. And no matter what, this dirt's going to have to go. So that's the other thing. We have to figure out how to clear the dirt. So if we assume that we're going to go up this way, we immediately find that running around this clone machine is kind of slow, kind of sluggish. Well, let's get to the yellow key, which isn't too bad. But then what? Can put a block up there, and then do this, and loop around, which isn't bad, and that shows that some sort of looping structure is not a bad idea. But we've now cleared out a lot, and it's pretty clear that that's not going to be the way forward. So what happens if we try going forward with our blocks? Well, we can do this, and we can take out this chip, no problem. And we can go up here to create a loop that we can then use here. And you'll notice that this dirt would have been in the way, except we were able to loop through. So that's something also worth noting. Likewise, when we looped this block, we passed through where the yellow key was. So both of those are important for trying to optimize block pushing. While we're working on that, we'll come up here. So there's a couple different options here. And we can do all that, and that feels pretty fast. That was just me feeling around. So note that not pushing this block saves 2 moves and not having to clear the dirt above to push the block that was here down. So there's a bunch of little things you pick up on as you go. And this block here, we can just push it down. So now I think we've got most of our route. So let's see what it comes out to. I said let's see what it comes out to. So I do appreciate the hard part execution-wise being at the start. Can I get the boosting? I guess not. So we don't actually have this part fully optimized yet. So I'm not going to concern myself with doing it perfectly. Now this is something I've picked up on. That if you're going to be passing by as you're going to turn a block later, you can just turn the block later. So, something we note here from this full level attempt is that this recessed wall cannot be the one we use, so we have to cut through this one or else we're wasting 2 moves, so back to the start. So before we actually do a full run, I'm going to work on this part. So I already know the answer to this, because you can clone 4 blocks like that, no turning. Now while we're down here, turning the block above us, we are 2 spaces away from this dirt. We're never going to be closer. So when we're up here, we're 3 spaces away from that dirt, and again, we're never going to be closer. Now, you might have thought, hey, we're 1 space away from this dirt. We could push this block down. We could. But if we do it when we're rotating this block up here around, it saves 2 moves in not having... Essentially, we're doing that versus that, which means 2 of the moves are now working for us instead of an extra 2-move backtrack. So, full level. This might actually... I know the mouse pointer's on the screen. If I was trying to polish this more, it wouldn't be. And this might actually get 220 if my memory of what the decimals are is correct, which would be a new record, which would be pretty cool. Because I did have a 219, but I did this from up here in optimally. We get that, and we just run over here. Nope, 219.8. So if there were if there's even 1 move anywhere in this level, this would come out to be a 220. But I'm pretty sure there's not. Just to be safe, I'm going to play it through again. Now, I could be missing something in this room, because block pushing can get pretty complicated, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I've worked on some pretty crazy levels. This is pretty tame compared to Eddie's One Who Raids Tombs. Alright, 219.8 again. Just wanted to make sure I didn't lose a move in the boosting on that first run. There you go. That is how I would optimize Brief Construction Montage. It's not entirely what I actually did, but it's pretty close in terms of testing ideas, iterating on those ideas, and finding further moves. And as you saw with the water room up here, this is what I was doing before. And as you can see, I would have to take an extra step there, and that's slow. Since you have to get that chip at some point. Can I save 2 moves with that? Ultimately, though, it all comes down to just sometimes you have an idea, you want to test that idea. Inspiration strikes at the most random times. Like, I'm trying to do a sort of episode closing, and I've come up with an idea. Now, I could have done the section in isolation, but I don't want to do that. Nope, equivalent method. Okay. The idea was... Okay, no, I see why. So to explain why what I just did is an equivalent way of doing up here, this spends 2 moves to be able to do this loop like so, and then just be able to go down after the red key. If we spend 2 moves to get the red key instead, then we come back through, we can just push this block straight across, and the block stays here instead of being pushed down. So no matter what, I'm pretty sure this is going to be 219.8 as a bold route, and I'm pretty happy with that, considering I had a 0.2 when I started, due to that. I thought that was faster, mistakenly. But yeah, that's how I optimize a level. It's not the perfect process. It's not a perfect representation of what I do. There's definitely some levels that take a lot more testing, or some levels where I'll just notate over a map. Other techniques I use, I'll be showing if I ever get around to a optimization-focused LP. But I think this is a good test of the format, and this was pretty fun to do. So kudos to Josh for making Brief Construction Montage. Pretty fun level, and I hope this was enlightening, and you might have even learned something about the level or optimizing in general. So yeah, thanks for watching. This has gone on for 15 minutes. I'm going to cut the recording.